Hello, and welcome back to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. Tonight I'm going to be showing you how I made the pink lilac favor bag from the bridal mock-up. I wanted to also give an update about the Picture It software that I'm sharing with whoever it is that is requesting it. I have to find the right CDs that will match the software because the pictured software was recorded on slower discs than are easily available today. So as soon as I get those discs, I will make the software copies and I will make them available to all of you who have asked about getting the software. In this first video, I'll be showing you how I designed the bag. In the follow-up video, I will show you how I assemble the bag. Let's get started. As I mentioned at the end of my last video, I'm going to show you how I made the Tulip favor bag, which is very quick and very easy. First, all I did was search for high-res pictures of tulips in Google search or Edge, and I found this picture that I liked. So now I'm just pulling up that picture onto a blank page and sizing it until it's about the full size of the page, the full width. Now I'm going to go to here in Microsoft Picture, cut out in picture, add a colored shape. I'm going to change it to a circle and change it to white. Now I'm going to flatten my circle, and this can be done in Publisher or Word as well. I did it actually in both those just to see if it could be done, and you do it just as easily. So now this is one side of my purse. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as a JPEG. I like saving and using JPEGs. They work in Cricut if you're going to upload it to Cricut, or in this case it's going to be cut out with scissors because we're making a full-size treat bag, or what I call oversized treat bag. So I'm just gonna put a couple of A's so I can easily find this, and I'm gonna add it to my desktop, a few A's, and I'll add it to my desktop so it'll come up quickly when I'm ready to use it again. Now I have these two pieces, but I want to flip this around so that I can have the mirror image of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go to the top of my screen and drag across to the bottom of the picture page, and then I'm going to click on this little puzzle piece which groups the images. You can click for that not to come up again, and now I have the white flattened oval and my picture joined, and I'm just going to go to size and position, flip, hit mirrored, and now I have the back side of my purse. That's half the project right there. So now I went into Google. I went into Google, and I knew I was going to need a handle that would be spread apart so that it could fit the way that I designed the treat bag, or the favor bag. And I found this style handle, but I looked for it, and then I found it also in black, and I like the black one better. So all I did was crop it out, and I'll show you how to crop it out. Once you find the handle you want, you go to cut out in picture, cut out of picture, by tracing on my own, and the only part that I traced out on my own was this gold part, because I can use a circle to cut out the rest of it. So I'm just going to go right here to the top of this little gold tip that's on the end of the handle, and I have it selected right there. I'm going to take the check mark out of there because I want it to stay on the same page. If I left the check mark in, it would open in a whole new page, but I don't want it to. And I'm going to click done. Then I'm going to go back in there. I could have done them both while I was in there, but just to expose you to this function as much as possible, because it's what you'll use a lot if you decide to use this software that I'm using. I'm going to go back in to cut out in picture, and I'm going to go into by tracing an area on my own once again, and I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to trim out that gold area, and you don't have to be specific. You can get exact. I mean, you can take a little more of the brown if you want, because we're gonna go back and get that as well. So now I have both my gold sections cut out, and depending on the shape of things, sometimes you might be able to just do it by selecting a color, the color white, which we're going to be doing in a minute after I finish showing you how I collect these. So what I'm doing is I'm going to have several pieces, little pieces, but together they'll make our handle that we need for the bag. So I'm just going to size this so that it's just around this little circular portion of the handbag, and I hit next. If you see you have too much, like it looks like I have too much, just hit the back arrow right here at the bottom next to cancel and next, and then just resize it a little more. So that looks good. Yeah, that will work. So now I'm going to show you that you can cut this one out as well in this same, while you're still in this window. So I'm going to go and I'm going to click on add an area. I'm going to click on the circle again, and it's already the size that I needed. I'm just going to have to stretch it out a little bit because this circle, or the one on this side that we need to cut, is a little more round. So I'm just going to resize it a little bit to go around that one. Click next, and now you're seeing these are what will be cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and click done. And now all I have to do is cut out this white area, and we'll have our handle. So I'm going to go, sometimes I move too fast. I'm going to go to cut out of picture, and this time I'm going to choose by color selection, and I'm going to change this to 1, because this, by changing this number to a lower number, it takes out less of a color. If I put it on a higher number, it would take out more shades of that color. So since I'm just going to draw out the white, I'm going to put it on 1. Then I'm just going to drag a line, and it instantly picks up that white. I'm going to drag another line. It's going to pick up that white. And then I'm going to take this part out because I only want the handle and these 2 loops and the rings where they end up. So I'm going to hit next. And now you can see it looks as if everything is going to be cut out, because I have to now choose, in order to pull these handles out, I have to now choose select the opposite area. So now you can see the part that I'll be keeping. I'm going to click done, and then I'm going to get rid of this bottom layer, and then I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the little handles down here, but this time I'm just going to cut this above portion. So I'm going to go once again to cut out in pictures, cut out of picture by tracing on my own, but this part is going to be very easy because I'm just going to cut across so that I have the handle, and then I'm just going to flip over to the other side. And then it doesn't matter how you outline it, because all of this white is gone now. This is like an SVG without the gray and white background. And I'm going to click on the little flag here, and if I had too much or too little, I could adjust it now. Wherever you put the pointer, you see it turns pink, and you can adjust the crop by just pulling on the line, clicking and pulling on the line to adjust. But I just want this area, so I'm just going to hit the arrow to say that I'm done, and then I'm going to click done down here, and I'm going to delete that part of the handbag. And that's how I got my handle. But on this one, I chose a black handle to use, but that's the same handle. It's just from a brown purse. So now what I do, in order to make sure that my handle fits my bag here, I'm going to go ahead and flip this back over. Did I save this one? Yeah, I think I'm going to save this one first. I don't think I saved it. So I'm going to click Save As, and I'm going to change it to JPEG. I'm going to look for the first one that I saved, which is right here, and I'm going to click that because it will give it the same name so that I don't have to retype it, but I'm going to add one behind it so that it will be in a separate picture. You're also going to take each side, you're going to go to cut out in picture with the colored shape. Once again, we're going to make it a square and make it white, and you're going to block out about that much of the purse, and this is so that you have that decorative edge. If you're looking at the purse from the inside, it will be reinforced with just a strip just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and click done, and then I'm going to cut out a picture by color selection, and I'm just going to take out the white areas. Change that to 1. So I'm just taking out the white areas. Hit next, select opposite so that you have just the strip like this, and I'm going to click done. So now I have just this strip, and I'm going to mirror this so that I will have the other side as well. So I'm going to click on this original one. I'm going to go to size and position. Oh, flip. I'm going to go to size and position, flip, mirrored. And now I have my cutout for the other side, and I'm going to save this as a new JPEG. And now I'm going to flip this back to the way it was before. I'm going to size and position, flip, and mirror, and I have it back to the first side, or the first half of the bag that we made. And I'm just going to drag from this tray here, I'm going to drag the handle that I want to use up into the picture. Oops, that's the wrong one. That's the first one. So I'm going to drag this one up. I'll go ahead and drag this one since this is the one we cut today. And I'm going to, just so I can size it the right size, I'm going to move this part of the bag down so that I can make sure that I'm getting my handles, these two handles of my purse, where I want them. Now I need to turn it a little so that they'll both be at the same level on both sides, so that this will be even on both sides. And I want it right in the middle, and I'm just going to pull it apart a bit. I pulled it apart a bit because I want to make sure that these are right in the middle of these little ends that I left for the cutout. So I think right there works perfectly. So now I have my handle, it's at the right size that I need it, and I have my bag here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull my bag back up, because now I need to turn these into the pieces that I will be cutting out. And I know that my handle is the correct side, so I'm going to pull that down. I'm going to go to cut out in picture and add a colored shape. I'm going to turn it into a square, and I'm going to make it white. Now we've already saved our purse back. We just used this so that we could get the handle the way that we needed it, how wide we needed it, and how large we needed it. So I'm going to pull here on the right hand side in our layers, I'm going to pull that white square underneath the handle of my purse, and I'm just going to move it to the top corner, and I'm going to stretch this white square so that it's covering up everything except my handle, and this is what we'll be cutting out. So now I'm going to do the same thing I did with the halves of the purse. I'm going to go to File, Save As. I'm going to change this to a JPEG, and then I'm going to click on the AAA, which is how I save the bag, so I get to it quickly. And this is going to be 2, which will be the first side of the handle. So I'm going to save that, and just like I did with the other, with the bottom of the purse, I'm going to go to size and position, flip, and I'm going to mirror this because I use a total of 4 of these handles so that it's sturdy enough, and if you're going to put heavier items in like sodas and water bottles, so I reinforce it by making both of the handles double-sided as well. So now we flip this to the other side. I'm going to go back in, save as, change it to JPEG, click on A2, and now I'm going to change it to the A3 and save. So now it's time to print our pieces, and in order to print the pieces, I'm going to go to the photos on my desktop, and I'm going to open up this piece so that I can tell you what we're going to do with each one. So with this one, this is the front of the bag. I print the front of the bag on photo paper. So I'm going to print this one on photo paper. Then I go to this side of the bag and I print this on cardstock. Regular cardstock paper that I get from Walmart. I think it's $5. And I'm also going to print 2 copies of this handle and 2 copies of this handle so that I have a front and back, so that the purse is looking complete. It's not one side of the handle is white and the other side is the black cording. So this way it'll look like a handle from both sides of the bag. And also, the last thing you want to print is one of the solid tulip pictures. And this is what makes up the sides of the bag. So I'm going to go ahead and print all of these things out, and then I will meet you at my assembly table. Stay tuned for the next video where I will be showing you how I assemble the treat bag. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and feel free to share it with any and everyone.